Right, I'm going to show you how to make one of these gem templates 3D, and you can use these in many different ways. You could hang them that way, you could hang them that way, you could lay them down, you could leave the bottom off and use them as like kind of a tent shape or if a castle. Once you've got that basic structure,
it could be a rocket.
It could be a rocket. You can do all sorts of different things with it. You can fill it full of goodies. It could be a lovely, you could put a diamond kind of ring in there and it's a diamond shape, whatever shape anyway. But to make that, you need to print off the templates to use. Now that's the basic body template size. Just a normal thin, ordinary, cheap or affordable paper. And you don't want it thick because you're going to be...
Photocopy paper.
That's fine, that's fine. I'm not arguing about it, as long as it's thin. You don't want it thick because you want to be able to kind of score through it so it makes an indentation on the card. I've cut around it the basic design so that this fits onto my A4 sheet of paper here. Whatever technique we're doing here, it depends on whatever size you're making, it's the same technique. I've just put a little bit of masking tape to hold this in position, but I'd put some extra ones around it too. Do that with that one, and also do that with the small ones, the top and the bottom as well. And you can see by cutting those out roughly, you can position these onto the card exactly where you want it, and you've not got all this bit here you can use again. Now you'll notice on here there's some extra bits. These are like your patchwork. So if you made this in white like that, I'm going to cover it in gold, but I had no gold, not enough gold, so I've kind of made a template. These are the templates. I'll show you in a minute how to use those later. And you can cut those out and stick them onto the main shape and you'll get a gold one. So those are there. That's stuck down there like that. Now before you cut it out, it's always a good idea to take a ruler and an embossing tool. You can use a sheet of foam underneath if you want, and then just gently press down here on this. Do that on all of the dotted lines. That'll help you fold it once it's cut out. So then cut it all out, and when you've cutted them, is that a word?
No.
When you've cut them all out, you will end up with this. There's the small one that can go to one side. There's the base there, or the top, it depends on how you want to use it. And then you've got the main body here. And because we've creased it, I've already folded these to save time. That just folds around like that. Now what we're going to do is basically stick them all together before we assemble them. And as you can see on this side, you've got a little flap, and we're just going to glue that up and stick that on the inside of the basic shape there. Put enough glue on there, bring those two together, jiggle it about, and just leave that to set. Let that stick together really well. Do the same with the top and bottom, and then we can assemble them. Now I've got my three sections here stuck together. They're nice and secure. So the way I like to do it, you can do it any way you want obviously, is I like to stick the top section on first. Now all I'm going to do is do just one flap. If you try to stick all the flaps together at the same time, it gets all distorted. But if you secure just one end first, then it helps you stick the rest down. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my glue and just stick one of the edges there together. Now if you get that right, the rest will fall into place. So just hold that in position until that's nice and securely stuck.
It's going to look like the Washington Monument. Do you know how big that is?
Dread to think.
169 metres.
How interesting.
I know.
So now you can see that top there is securely stuck like a little hinge. Now I'm just going to apply glue onto these flaps and then just stick it together. So just a little bit of glue. Make sure you use a glue that really adheres. This kind of really grips the paper together, and you can still jiggle it about so it's in the right position. So that should now just go over the top there. Make sure all the flaps are on the inside. Just press it down gently. Get it in position, and then just leave that to dry. So you can see this end now is securely stuck down, and I've repeated on the top there, I've already pre-stuck just one of those. Now that's the perfect time if you want to fill that up with goodies, have it as a gift box or whatever you want. Fill it up now and then stick it together. So again, it's just a question of gluing up these flaps here. Don't overdo the glue, but you want enough to be able to grip it. A little bit on there. And there too. And then you just fold that over and make sure the flaps are going on the inside. And then gently press down as you're turning it around so they stick nicely together. Like so. And then just let that be in position, give it time to bond and stick together well. And then you end up with the beautiful gem shaped box or whatever you want to turn it into.